Hey everybody, what's up? This is Jake coming at you with another lesson. This is Led Zeppelin's Hey Hey What Can I Do? It's a great song, classic. I found out there are probably thousands of lessons on YouTube. Decided to put this out because the version I'm doing I think is more accurate to the studio version, meaning I think some of the chords are voiced a little bit more voiced than what I've seen out there. I was surprised to see a lot of the lessons had the tuning accurate, I thought, which is between a half step down and a full step. So we'll talk more about the tunings, and we'll talk more about the chords after I do a play through. And I'm actually going to play with the original drums and the original bass guitar so you can get a little better idea. The track does have multiple guitars, so we're mostly just going to focus on the 12-string today. Okay, here we go. I was having a little too much fun on the playthrough, but man, that's a great song. So let's talk about the tuning, right? I mentioned before it's between half a step down and a full step. I found that it's really not easy to call it by pitch. You can and I think it's better to just call it for the purpose of the lesson a half step down. I tuned to the track, as you can tell, and for that very reason, I'll quickly just play the strings and call it a half step down. It's actually a little further than half step. Here we go with the tuning. All right, so you can tell I'm a little bit out. That's intentional. Sometimes I like the 12-string to be a little out because it makes the, I like it to be a little out because it makes it bigger. That's okay, not that big of a deal. And so we will talk about another little thing, and I've heard some of the people, like just various lessons, mention that the chords are simple and why would the band play anything odd. Well, I have to talk a little bit about Mr. Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones. Those guys were really studio masters by the time the first Led Zeppelin record was cut. So it's my personal belief that in this song, they may have blended tunings. Therefore, they may have had one acoustic, I'm guessing, but they might have had one acoustic recorded with the band, and then perhaps the tape was slowed down or something. Maybe the acoustic was recorded that half a step down tuning, or this tape slowed down, and then had an overdub with another guitar. I definitely hear a 6-string acoustic in the beginning, and it does sound, that part to me, it sounds like open strings. I don't know. Who really knows? But I wouldn't put it past Jimmy Page. Again, there's no real fair rules when it comes to studio magic. So anyway, with that said, we'll just play through with this 12-string. The first part of the song is the introduction. It starts in an A flat major chord. It goes like this. All right, so the way I play it with the recording is just really that open A string, and then the other strings down to the B flat string. I keep referring to the string as standard pitch, but it's really not. It's a flat. It's kind of a flat. So just please keep that in mind. So again, that's A flat major. All right, the next chord is a G major, a G flat major. It goes like this. All right, so before I go to the next chord, again, the introduction has this little melody in between during the A chord. It goes like this. So that's the 3rd fret on the A flat string, 4th fret on the A flat string, 2nd fret on the D flat string, 4th fret on the D flat string, and then back into the normal A flat chord. And you just kind of drone that A flat string. So, downstroke on the A flat chord. So down, up, downstroke on the full chord. Then again, a couple of times. Then the G flat. I don't hear this version. I hear this version mixed with another guitar. So who really knows? Again, it's a best guess. And then I hear the next chord is a D flat over F. Subtly on the F, though. I don't really hit the F that hard. So again. And again, D flat over F. And then it goes into the verse. So it starts off again with an A flat major. Then it goes to an E flat major chord, first position. Then G flat major. D flat over F. Again, for that D flat over F, I hit it, but I try to hit it softly. I hear it a little bit in the recording, so I think it might even just be that his thumb is on that string and that fret, and maybe it's an incidental every once in a while he hits it. So right at the end, you have that walk again from the 3rd fret on the A flat string to the 4th fret, and then back into the A chord. And I guess you hit the open A string, A flat string, and then you hit the full chord again. And again, so I wouldn't worry too much about the right hand. I talk about this in some of my other lessons because he varies so much even throughout the recording. There's variation on what he's doing with the right hand. Sometimes he doesn't like a picking pattern that's a little bit different with the right hand from chord to chord. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Now going back to the verse, the second time around is different, that tail end part of the verse. So it goes your A flat major to your E, to your D flat, and that's similar to every other tail end of that riff, except it goes from the 3rd fret to the 4th fret on the A flat string, 2nd fret on the D flat string, 4th fret on the D flat string, back to the 2nd fret on the D flat string, then a bend, half step. You bend on the 3rd fret of the A flat string, you bend it half a step. Not a slide, although it would work. I hear the bend. And then the 3rd, and I think he plays it 4 times, so you only do it on the 2nd time around, you only play that tail end that way, and then you go back to the 1st time, which is I think he plays the verse 4 times. And then you go into the pre-chorus, which is a slightly different A. This A flat is played, I call it 2nd position for all intents and purposes. It's played like this. One more time. It's kind of hard to get the full voicing, the big neck on this guitar, but if you can, it sounds fuller. It sounds better voiced, in my opinion. You got 2 A's going on here, which gives a natural chorusing if you're a little bit out of tune. And then you go into an E flat, add 11 with a G in the bass. E flat, I'll play it here. Now I've heard some people refer to this as like a minor chord. This is really a variation of an A flat major. So it goes like from A, put that inversion in the bass, and you take out the E flat, give it a little dissonance, that add 11, that A. Now, it has to be played very carefully, in my opinion. When you play that chord, I'm trying to intentionally use my thumb to mute the high octave of the A flat string and just leave that bass A string ringing slightly into the rest of the chord. Yeah, it sounds bad because I'm playing it wrong, but if it's played correctly, it has a shimmer to it, and that's very, I think Jimmy Page would do something like that intentionally. The next chord is an F minor. It's a variation, but it's played like this. Again. I'm not emphasizing this 2nd fret on this E flat string as much. I'm trying to just play it lightly. And trying to let this A flat string take over more on the bass than anything. But you still want it there. It's just a sympathetic note. Next chord is a D flat over F, which is what I've been playing throughout the song. So together, then it goes into the chorus, which is an A flat major, then G major, G flat major. Now when I play this bit here on the D flat over F, I'm lifting up, and it's hard for me not to do my thumb as well, I try not to just these two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, lift them up to the open strings. It's kind of giving the illusion that you're playing all of the strings open. You're really not. You're just playing those two. And there's variation. I hear Jimmy playing different ways throughout the song, so I wouldn't nail it down to one way. Just as long as you get those notes in there. And then at the end of that riff, again, you do that 3rd fret, 4th fret walk down on the A flat string, back to the A, start the riff over. And then the whole song starts over. It goes into the verse, and then the pre-chorus, and then the chorus. So, well, that's it, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. Like I said, there's 1,000 videos out there on this, but slightly tweaked a couple of things. Oh, before I forget, too, I talked about a second guitar. I am under the opinion that, like I said, the second guitar may be in the standard tuning and playing the chords a little bit differently. So just wanted to throw that out there, food for thought. When it comes to studio magic, there really aren't any rules on how you get the sound I have found. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys want to hear more Led Zeppelin, please comment or like, subscribe, or hit me up on Instagram. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.